Now, joining us to discourse on the happenings in U.S. is Auwal Ibrahim RAFSANJANI, the Executive Director, Civil Society, Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, and Head of Transparency International Nigeria, to speak on this latest development. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the news at 7.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yes, all right. Now, Joe Biden surpassed the 270 vote, getting 290 of the Electoral College vote. Now, what does this mean?
Well, this means that the candidate was fully endorsed and accepted by the American people, and they were really eager and desperate to see that they are able to cast their votes and have a change in the leadership of American government. And this really clearly demonstrates why they had to come and do this voting in mass. And it is one of the recent election that we have seen in American politics, to see this mass number of people coming out to cast their votes. So this really shows that your vote counts. They strongly believe that their vote can change, and there are a lot of lessons that we should actually learn as Nigerians. That is to say that in Nigeria we should also revive this culture of respecting the votes of Nigerians. Secondly, it is also a strong indication and learning lesson that state institutions are not operated by an individual who is commanding or who is leading the country. So despite the fact that Trump is the sitting president of America, he could not manipulate the electoral process. He could not also ask the security or any government institutions to do the otherwise. So this is a good lesson. It shows that strong institutions are needed for democracy to flourish. We need also the independent and responsible institutions to be able to consolidate democracy in Africa and Nigeria. And also, it is a big lesson for us, to see that unlike what we see in Africa, where election is completely marred by fraud, by all sorts of problems that can, bring in, credibility problem to it. In this case, there's no question of logistic problem, later arrival of materials. There's no question of vandalizing or destroying ballot boxes. There's no question of the fact that citizens will be afraid that when they go, their votes will be tampered with. This is really a good lesson that we should actually have in order to consolidate democracy in Nigeria and Africa by extension. So your votes can actually count, and this is exactly what we have seen. Is a big lesson. If you want to change any leadership, you don't need to engage in violence. You don't need to engage in any cantankerous campaign, but do campaign based on issue. Then you would now be able to see how you can mobilize votes, how you can mobilize people to support your ideal, but not really through the use of money or use of security agents or use of thuggery and other violence that is being applied in most of the countries in Africa. In America, that is not the case.
Indeed, a learning curve, and I like the fact that we're itemizing this right now. Now, Kamala Harris now becomes the first black woman now to be the vice president of America, and just as Joe Biden is the oldest president ever. This is quite historic, I must tell you. And but what does this portend for America and the world at large?
Well, I think this is really a good, development, because we have been in Nigeria. We have been fighting for gender mainstreaming and inclusion, and the marginalization of women in leadership position. In most of the African countries, this will open a window of opportunity for competent, qualified, decent women, to come and contest election without fear or favor, and that is a good lesson for also our political parties, to ensure affirmative action, to ensure total, mainstreaming of gender in their political parties and leadership position. And I hope that Nigeria will learn a lesson from this. There's nothing that is impossible for a woman to demonstrate her competence, to demonstrate her quality leadership if given the space. So therefore, I see this as an opportunity, global opportunity for women to come out and actually demonstrate their competency, demonstrate their leadership capability and ability and knowledge and skill in terms of governance and leadership. So I hope that this window of opportunity given to the women would open up a greater opportunity for women to be mainstream, to be given the chance to be able to participate in decision making in the country. And in particular, this election, being a woman of color, is also sent a very signal that America is actually reclaiming or restoring its glory and value, because in the last couple of years there has been some complaint of crisis of division between the different color of people in America. But this election signified the possibility to unify and restore the name of America,
Indeed.
which everybody knows of, in terms of tolerance, in terms of acceptance, in terms of bringing everybody together. And even in the speech that the president-elect delivered, he said, "Look, I was not elected only by the Democrats. Now, if I was elected by the Democrat, now I'm going to be the president of everybody." Amazing. This is a great, inspirational statement, which means that it is not just about the party that or the supporters that just elected him, but it is about America, how America can be united, how America can actually fashion an agenda that will do that. And for us in Nigeria, and for me as part of my mission, is to take advantage of this to see how we can reposition Nigeria, how Nigeria can benefit from this opportunity to benefit in terms of technology, in terms of science, in terms of governance, fighting insurgency, fighting corruption. This is the agenda which we would like to see how the new president-elect will help Nigeria to overcome its challenges. And we hope Nigerian officials will also take advantage of his openness to make sure that they push issues that can galvanize and bring about success in terms of trade, in terms of inequality, in terms of employment, industrialization, and really making Nigeria to be prosperous and unite Nigeria, as well as also ensure that Nigerian territorial integrity is protected. Yes. We hope this opportunity for Nigerian people, Nigerian officials, to take advantage of this man and this new leadership that will come to pushing out policy and programs that will benefit Nigeria.
Many thanks, Auwal Ibrahim Musa RAFSANJANI. We do appreciate your insight on the development in U.S. election. And thanks for coming on the news at 7.
Thank you very much.